In this video we will learn how to develop complex sectioning models like as you see in this picture in a really easy way. I just start with a really easy shape. I just put extrude modifier on top. I have 5 segments. Next step, I want to deform this a little bit. I go into edit poly and I select my edges, this edge line and this edge line, probably this edge line, and I can just extrude it a little bit, so I come to this, get to this shape, and also deform it a little bit in my Z direction. Here we go. And next step, I just put one shell modifier on top with an inner amount of 5 millimeters, outer amount of 1 centimeters, and I use straighten corners so it always has the same dimension. Based on my 3D model with a shell modifier, I just draw my sectioning planes. I go into plane, have my sectioning plane. I only need 1 by 1 segments. And this one I just put into para3D, and I don't want to keep the original objects. I go into create, and here we go. I just open my para node, and this time I go into position. And if I choose my Z direction, then I can already see that this is the value I have to change. So what I do is I just add a linear controller on my Z direction linear controller, and I move this corner up. I go into update, and I already produce my first sectioning. Next thing what I have to do is I have to take my basic object into para3D. I go into create parametric array, and here I only want to assign a controller. I don't want to array it actually. And here we go, this is my object, and with these two things I would like to create my sectionings. So I go into contour generator, I connect for para node my basic object. For transform I would like to use my sectioning planes, but I can't combine a matrix with a para node, so what I need is a parametric array link controller. Here we go. I zoom out a little bit, and here I can connect my para exit with my para entrance, and really important, ensure all compatible properties in my parametric link controller. I have to choose transform and then update my whole array, and then we're already a little bit further. In my para contour I deselect transform, and if I deselect the transform, the only thing I have to do in my count 1 dimension, I have to set the same count like my planes. I produced 10 planes actually, and if I update this and probably then again go into generate contours, then you can already see that I have created my contours based on my model with shell modifier. If I just choose one of my sections and I go again into isolate selection, then you can see that it already worked really well. In principle, what I can already do, I can already choose all my sectioning planes, and if I add just a shell modifier, then you can already see that it worked quite well. Here's my shell modifier, and it already worked well with my sectioning planes. But what I actually want to do is I just produce a reference with parametric array. I just go into reference, and I just connect my reference with my contour. And if I go into select first member, and I add shell modifier, and then I choose like reload properties. Yes, I want to have all the information. Then there is a little bit of an advantage with this method, because all my shell properties are in para3D, and with this I can also change the thickness in para3D, which is really handy, and probably have different kind of thicknesses in my model. Okay, the same thing I just do quickly with my horizontal sections. I just draw a plane in my front view. I go into para, and this time I don't want to keep my original objects. For example, I go into an array of 14. I create it, and here we go. That's my new sectioning, and here I just choose what I want to do, and actually I just want to rotate it a little bit, so I just go into a transform and I choose my linear controller. You can just see that they just line up like this. I move the first one here to my the last one to my first one again, and then move it a little bit lower. And if I update this, then you can already see that I have my sectioning planes right now here. And one little variation I would like to do, I want to rotate them. I disconnect my transformer, and I just see what kind of value is best for my rotation. I don't want to rotate it in my X direction. I think at the end of the day it's the Z direction I want to do. Yes, this looks really good. I just go into 0 again, and here I choose, I can actually try this. I just want to rotate it between 0 and 90 degrees. So I just choose something like a random controller and have a minimum of 0 and a maximum of 90 degrees. I go into update, and this is the structure which comes out of this. I just produced some variations, and I think this looks already quite good. And if I want to use this for my basic model, obviously I just have to put it on top of my basic model, otherwise the intersections don't work properly. And after I did it, I can just go out again, and I produce another contour, and this contour I again connect to my text. This is my text. I just connected to my text object, and here I want to connect it to my new para planes with my random actually, and I choose a parametric array link controller. I always have to do this if I want to connect a matrix with a para entrance, and now I can do it. I just connect it. In show all properties, I choose my transform. I update this, and so the next thing I have to do, I deselect my transform, and in contours, obviously I have to choose 14, which I did right now. And if I select them and I just go into isolate selection, then I can see that also these sectionings already worked properly. I just choose one again. Here we go, and we see that my sectionings work quite well. With the vertical sections, I just make it a little bit easier for me. I just go into select para members, and I go into isolate selection again, and now I just add the shell modifier. So I didn't produce a new reference, I just add the shell modifier, and it looks a little bit too thick for me. I just reduce my inner amount to 0.1 centimeters, a really small model. Actually, it does not really have an architectural scale, and my inner amount, my outer amount, and this is the result of my basic structure. My sectionings I just want to hide right now, and if I go into my my select by name, you can already see that I can differentiate between my para planes and my reference. My reference I need and my sections I need. I just choose them and I just say hide selection, and now it already looks quite well, and we want to concentrate in our next step on my basic object again. Okay, this is my basic object, and it's on the same level like my my outer contour with my sectionings and my sectioning planes, but I want to have the sectioning planes to the outside and more or less like inside construction. What I can do is I can just go into select inner faces of my shell modifier, and if I just add an edit poly on top and I go again into polygon, then I can just choose my detach and my edit geometry, and just call this, name it facade as clone. Here we go. and this I'll just rename in basic object, and a right mouse click, I hide my basic object, and we just see that the inside of my object is now really fits really well to my sectioning planes. So the last thing, if I want to structure this inside a little bit, I can just tessellate this and see that this also gets something like a grid structure, which we do right now. Okay, I select my object, and in modeling I just choose hard shading, so I can really see my shape properly, and I just add another edit poly on top, and I just select all my polygons. And next step, I want to tessellate this. I just go into tessellation and tessellate settings, and I just for example want to use like this triangulation, probably one level higher, like this. And if I think about that, this should probably just be a window structure. I just add another edit poly on top. I just select all my edges. These are my edges. I go into create shape under edit edges, and I just want to have this as linear, and I just call this window structure. Okay, here we go. And if I look at this properly, then I can see that I have my facade, and on top I have my window structure, and my window structure is just an editable spline, and this editable spline can get can become a volume of 3D solid objects. I just add my sweep modifier. Here we go. It's obviously much too thick. I'm not really in an architectural scale actually. So we just start from 1 millimeter and 1 millimeter in terms of my width, and I have a profile of a bar. I can also just use different profiles like this wide flange, and obviously this is also too much. Again, my example is not really such great because it does not have, it's quite small actually, my object. But if I just adjust this a little bit, here we go, then you can see that it works really well as a basic structure for example like a window. And if I deselect this, we can see already something like I built in my, like we saw in my visualization. We have sectioning planes which structure our facade in a constructional way, and we have our basic object underneath, and they all based on the same shape, like my basic object, like this transformed letter A. Thanks for watching.